Stefano Landi greets history as the first composer of Roman opera. I could find very little about him in my research. It is recorded that he was the first to write the Baroque cantata. A cantata is a performance similar to an opera as it is combined of recitatives and arias. Landi also composed the scores for the famous librettist Giulio Rospigliosi. A librettist is an author who writes the text portion of the opera. Several years later, the musical center would shift yet again, this time from Rome to Venice. Monteverdi would eventually move to Venice, achieving the post of Maestro di Cappella at St. Mark's Church, where he met, taught, and influenced Pier Francesco Cavalli. Cavalli would hold 3 musical posts at St. Mark's over his lifetime. He began as second organist, proceeded to first organist, and ended as the chapel master. Unlike Monteverdi, he allowed the music a separate distinction from the text, and gave the operatic community bel canto arias. Bel canto arias are described by Encyclopedia Americana 1998 as short, flowing melodies and dance rhythm. Cavalli is remembered for his opera Jason because it achieved the ultimate fame any composer could hope for. It continued to be performed and beloved by many long after his death. Cavalli's rival, and the last composer of my presentation, is Pietro Antonio Cesti. Cesti is respected in musical circles for his work with bel canto arias and Baroque cantatas. The bel canto aria technique, in fact, was first created and used in cantata form, before Cavalli and Cesti fashioned them in their operas. Cesti's music can be divided into 2 categories, Roman and Venetian. The Encyclopedia Britannica 2012 states, his cantatas and religious plays show the influence of the more conservative contrapuntal Roman school. His operas, that of the more progressive Venetian school. It is believed that he wrote nearly 100 operas, but sadly only 15 exist in written form today. In essence, opera as a style was wholly new, but the ideals behind it were undoubtedly Greek. The goal to affect the senses and emotions of the audience with the text and melody led the Baroque composers to refine the Grecian art of musical declamation. They intended to touch their generation, but perhaps they touched a bit more. Even today, we can still see their influence. Have you ever tried singing a humorous song in the tune of a lament? Or even worse, a lullaby to heavy death metal music? I can assure you that the effects are not the same. While the results may make us laugh, we notice immediately that something is missing, and it tugs at our heartstrings. We owe a great debt to the composers, men and women, of the Baroque period for recognizing the importance of the union between words and music upon our emotions. Without their brilliance, we might be facing a terrifically altered world. There has been an extreme amount of information that I've asked you to take in, and I know there was so much. I hope you were able to glean little bits from it, and that you learned much, and that you enjoyed listening. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.